When he initially came in, I mean, I was curious to see what happened, but then to see actually what he has done since it's been, I mean, actually pretty cool. You don't build the courage up. You just got to go. You can't stop and think about it. Because if you stop and you think about it for a second, the courage is going to go down. That was such a good time for me. That was such a good, because honestly, I feel like you could start anywhere because like everyone was good.
Dude, it's so good to see you. And I'm so glad to have you back on for like a longer conversation now.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. What the one was that WrestleMania was that?
And that was such a nice surprise, like to just be able to spend some time with you there. And now so much other stuff has happened since then. And I also feel like almost every Logan Paul highlight in WWE has you on the other side of that match, on the other side of that moment.
Yeah, it seems to be connected somehow. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm actually really curious. When Logan Paul first came into WWE, what were your initial thoughts of him?
I mean, I never had any preconceived notions. I just think, like we have people come in all the time, so it's that was nothing new to me. But then seeing like he was actually at the PC training with Sean and some of the people down there, and then he was like putting the work in for the match with like the tag match with the Miz and the other match with the Miz, and like he's putting the work in. So when he initially came in, I mean, I was curious to see what happened, but then to see actually what he has done since it's been, I mean, actually pretty cool.
You've done this thing now.
To see that.
You've done this thing now twice in WWE where, the promo ends with you jumping over the top rope to the outside, landing in front of the person. How do you figure out like, oh yeah, that's something I'm completely capable of doing?
You know what? It's funny. I was just asking my fiance, I was asking her, I wonder at like what age, because the first time I did it, I think I was like 29 and now I'm like 34. So I was like, I wonder at what age will I not be able to like do that anymore? Not necessarily like, will I not want to do it? There'll be an age where like, even guys, I don't want to do that. I can, but I don't want to. I wonder what age will it be where I'm like, guys, even if I wanted to, I can't do that anymore. I always like, but I try to push myself, and that's something, I don't know. I just like, I don't know, maybe the barrier. I just want to break through that, whatever that is. I just want to keep it going. I don't know what that is. I don't know why.
Is there anything that you used to be able to do in the ring that now, almost 20 years into this, that you're like, either I can't do that anymore, or I don't know if I should do that anymore?
Honestly, probably only like the double moonsault, maybe. Like, and that's not even. I probably could still do it if I wanted to do it.
Could you? That'd be amazing. It'd be amazing.
But I just don't want to. I don't want to. I did it off the cage.
Come on. I mean, it looks so smooth the way you do it.
I would have to actually take some time to like really practice, because it's just I was just asked the other day, when was the last time I even did it? And I couldn't tell you. The last time that I did the double moonsault, I don't know. Other than the one off the cage at NXT, before that, even like in the ring, man, I couldn't tell you.
Dude, what's so fascinating about this is you're like, I would have to practice to do a double moonsault, which makes me think that all the other things that you do require no practice and they're just innate to you.
I mean, technically, I guess you're kind of right. But at the same time, it's like, I have been doing it. It's like asking a gymnast to like do something that they've been doing their whole life. Obviously, I'm not a gymnast, but like I have been training myself on this type of stuff since I was 6, years old. So, and then I've been wrestling since I was like 14. So to literally like be doing it for so long, it is kind of second nature. Some of it is second nature when you're out there. Like it is just like instinct.
Yeah. Do you remember?
But some of the stuff still takes practice now that I'm getting older.
All right, we'll get back to Ricochet in just a second. You've heard me talk about it in other videos, but Blue Chew is giving you the chance to give them a try for free. All you have to do is pay $5 for shipping. Blue Chew is a unique online service that delivers the same active ingredients as Viagra, Cialis, and Levitra, but it's in chewable tablets, and it's a fraction of the cost. And they make the process so simple. Sign up at BlueChew.com. You'll have a consultation with one of their medical professionals, and a few days later, that's it, Blue Chew arrives at your door in discreet packaging, and you, my friend, are ready to go. And Blue Chew really wants to help you out in the bedroom department. Head to BlueChew.com, use my promo code CVV, and your first month is free. You just have to pay $5 for shipping. That's BlueChew.com. Use my code CVV.
Do you remember what the very first high-flying move that you ever successfully did was?
Yeah, it was, remember Jeff Hardy's like Whisper in the Wind?
Yes.
It was basically that, like the guy was laying on the ground and I would do the Whisper in the Wind under the guy. Like, I remember like that was like my very first match, like in the backyard, Whisper in the Wind to the guy laying down.
No big deal, just a whisper in the wind.
But I mean, I was scared to I wanted to do like a Phoenix Splash, the one, like a full Phoenix Splash, but I was too scared. I don't know why. On the trampoline, I could do it, but in the ring, it's different. Stuff's different when you get in there.
But I feel like there's so many moves that you now do off the top rope where you do them so seamlessly, so effortlessly. How do you build the courage up to stand up there? Because it doesn't maybe look that tall when you're watching.
You already, so you got to start. You don't build the courage up. You just got to go. You can't stop and think about it. Because if you stop and you think about it for a second, the courage is going to go down. You know what I mean? The courage comes from when you're not thinking. You know what I mean? You got to I never do anything that I don't think is beyond my abilities. I try to stay within my capabilities. But so when I'm in there, it's literally like a split second decision, do it on the spot. Because the more you sit there and think about it, the more the courage is going to go down, at least in my experience.
So what's something that you do that looks so seamless and so effortless, but when you actually hit it, it kind of does hurt?
I mean, the 630 every single time, the 630, whether it's my neck or my back or something, it's not, I mean, it's a painful move for both people in the ring. Absolutely.
I feel like that.
And actually anything where you're landing on someone, it doesn't feel good when you're coming down. Like, I'm sure you've seen Montez do his frog splash from the rafters. Like, that hurts both of us. Or when I'm doing my shooting star, that's going to hurt both people a little bit, at least.
I feel like, the more you talk about this, I feel like the 630 is going to go the way of the double moonsault. Please, we can't have that happen.
No, that's like my spirit bomb. Goku only throws that out when he needs it.
Speaking of Logan Paul, that Spanish fly that you guys did at Money in the Bank, that one looked like it hurt a lot.
I mean, it all hurts a lot, but that's kind of why we do it. But that one especially hurt, given the circumstances at hand. Absolutely.
And this one that just happened on Raw, where he's holding the camera up, like holding the phone up, selfie style, and you super kick him in the face. I feel like that's like an all-time highlight for both of you guys. Yeah,
I mean, of course, I'm sitting there doing my thing, and he wants to come in and attack me from behind. You know what I mean? But he hits me once. It had me rattled. Absolutely, I'm not going to even take anything away. It had me rattled for sure. But then he just wants to get straight on his camera and start, I don't know, talking smack. Like, I'm still right there, bro. Like, I'm not going to just let you sit there and talk smack. But it just happens that he had a perfectly good shot of my shiny shoe going across his chin. It was a hilarious.
Yeah, the actual shot from his iPhone it's so perfect.
And it's cool because I look really cool when I walk into the screen, and then I just look at him I'm glad he did it. Good for him, because it makes me look great.
And the absolute perfect extension of your leg on that super kick. I saw someone reference this as the Ned Flanders kick. Do you know what I'm talking about?
I think I know what you're talking about. Yes. I was thinking 97 Shawn Michaels. As soon as he turned around, I was thinking, okay, sorry, 97 Shawn.
Okay, quick timeout from this chat with Ricochet because, yeah, you know SummerSlam is this Saturday night. You know that it's Ricochet versus Logan Paul. It's also Logan Paul's brother, Jake Paul, in maybe one of the biggest boxing matches of his career. It's Jake Paul versus Nate Diaz, and you can bet on all of this at MyBookie. Yeah, MyBookie is the place to bet on combat sports. It's the place to bet on everything, and I was shocked to see that Jake Paul is a heavy favorite in this match. So if you're one of those people who thinks Jake Paul is going to get knocked out, place your bet on Nate Diaz and you could make a decent amount of money here. And when you sign up at MyBookie using my promo code, which is CVV, you'll get a 50% welcome bonus on your first deposit there. So throw in $100, now you've got $150 to bet on Jake Paul, Nate Diaz, all of the matches at SummerSlam and everything else on their website. So head over to MyBookie and use that promo code CVV.
I think there's a lot of WWE fans that may just be familiar with your work now on the main roster. If they were to go and look at some of your best NXT stuff, where do they need to begin?
Man, that was such a good time for me. That was such a good, because honestly, I feel like you could start anywhere because like everyone was good. You know what I mean? Everybody that I was in there with was so good. So it really helped me out a lot. But I mean, I guess if I had to point you somewhere first,
yeah,
probably the War Games is one of them. War Games is great,
yeah.
But that's a little long. So that's like a long match. So I mean, probably me and Alistair versus the Viking Raiders. That was one of my favorites. Me and Dream was one of my favorites. Obviously, I would have to go me and Adam Cole, point you there first because just of what that match was and what it became. But also like me and Johnny was good. Me and Pete had a title match on the NXT TV taping one time. I think me, Pete, and Adam Cole had like a triple threat thing going one time. I think there's a bunch of cool like multi-man matches. It was like me, Riddle, Adam Cole, Alistair. Like it was like one crazy match. That one was cool. Halftime Heat. Remember Halftime Heat?
Mm-hmm.
So it was just like, that was just a cool, like, because it was only really like maybe 9 or 10 months. It wasn't very long, but that little bit of time, I just, it was great.
When you did get called up to the main roster and you made your debut there, was there a part of you that was like, I know I've done so much here in NXT, but maybe people here aren't going to, be familiar with me or familiar with my work. Were you nervous at all about that?
I wasn't worried about that at all. Not even because, I think everyone's going to know me. Like that just was like, if you don't know me, you're about to know me. Like if you don't know me, you're going to find out very soon. So like that has never been, because I've always kind of liked starting fresh. Like, like even on the independent scene, start fresh, build your name value up until like a new bigger company sees you. Then you literally start at the bottom of this big company, and then you work, and then this other company, then you go overseas, and then you're starting at the bottom again. And you go to Japan or whatever, like you always starting at the bottom until you build that rapport. You build that, And so I guess maybe that's kind of how I saw that as well. Like if you didn't know me, then I guess you got to know me soon enough, because just watch.
What was the like genesis behind the name Ricochet? Because it's very fitting for what you do.
It's so when we first started, it was like this called Chaos Pro Wrestling. That's what was CPW. That was our thing. And I was training. I was like 14. We trained for like 6 months maybe. And then it was the day of our big show, our first match. And it was me and my 2 friends, and we had started at the same time. We were training the same time. And they're asking our names. What are your names going to be? And I had like a list of names that I wanted, but I wanted like a 2 name, like a John Cena, you know what I mean? Something like that. But I just couldn't think of anything that I liked. Also, I had Ricochet down. I had a couple of other things. But also at the time, like the show Mucha Lucha was very popular. And so Ricochet was a character. So like, I didn't want to just pick that either, because I knew people were going to put the 2 together, and that's not where I got it from. Anyways, we get to the day, and he asked one of my friends. One guy was like Blue Cat, like Kana Azul or something. And then the next guy, they were like, what's your name? And he was like, I haven't thought of one. And then like, okay, you're gonna be Kevin. And then they like looked around and like they saw one of the cats walk by, and the cat's name was Hobbs from like, you know, Calvin and Hobbes, the little strip. Yeah. So he's like, so you're gonna be Kevin? And they were like, Hobbs, you're Kevin Hobbs. And he was like, oh, I don't want to be Kevin Hobbs. And like, you didn't pick a name. Sorry, that's what you're gonna be. And then they got to me and they're like, what's your name? And I said, I don't want to be fucking Kevin Hobbs. I don't want to be Kevin Hobbs. So I said, I was trying to think. I just said Ricochet, because Ricochet goes with, I said, I know I do flips. I know I do like high flying stuff. So I feel like Ricochet fits like the name. So I just said Ricochet because I didn't want to be Kevin Hobbs. So I didn't want them to pick some random name. So I just settled with Ricochet. And then since then, now I love that it's a one title name. I like that it's different. I like that it's it's different. It's something that will stand out in a group of names, I feel like. And also, like you said, it does fit what I do inside the ring.
Yeah, like if someone's never seen one of your matches and you go, you need to watch this guy named Ricochet, they go, oh, I think I get it. I think I know what he's all about.
Yeah. So I really, now that I've gone through all of it, I really enjoy the name now, and I really like that it's something different.
Congratulations on your recent engagement. And I want to take it back. Talk us through the first time that you and Samantha met.
Actually, I went to see her in Vegas because she used to perform out here. She did like Cirque du Soleil, and she did a bunch of cool like production shows out here. But we actually started on Twitter. She added me on Twitter, and we started talking. But then I flew out to see her, and we were hanging, like we flew out, and then when I landed, we didn't have anything planned. And so we were just driving around Vegas, and I'm looking around Vegas because, you know, I've never even really been to Vegas before. And it's so pretty. And she's like, so we're trying to figure out what we want to do. What's going on? And she says, do you want to go to the Grand Canyon? And I'm thinking from Vegas to the Grand, I'm assuming it's not a very far trip. Yeah. You know, I'm assuming because also it was probably like 8 o'clock at night because I had just landed and we went and got some food and we talked for a little bit, you know. So I said, sure, yeah, absolutely. Like, how far away is it? And she's like, I think it's like 4 hours. And I'm like,
yeah, it's just in a different state, you know.
I was like, sure, yeah, let's go. Like, absolutely. And so literally like 8, 9 o'clock at night, we just take off for the Grand Canyon. I think we stop at Kingsman, Arizona. I think that's where we stopped, like halfway. You know, that next morning, I don't think she said, I saw a Cracker Barrel. I love Cracker Barrel. And I don't think she said she ever been to a Cracker Barrel before. And I said, oh, we got to go. It's so good. And then she said she hasn't been in a long, long time. And I said, so we got to go. So that was kind of our real first date, was like meeting at a Cracker Barrel where we really sat down and talked. And it was so funny because the waitress, I guess she thought we had been together for a long time. And then we were like, oh, no, this is actually our first date. And she was like, what? She goes, oh, you guys have just been sitting here. Like, she goes, I thought you guys would have been together for a long time. But, and then we're like, oh, no, thank you so much. So like from day one, it's been like, I don't know, perfect, I want to say. Nobody's perfect, but like we are perfect.
That is a hell of a first date. Vegas to Cracker Barrel on the way to the Grand Canyon.
And then our first photo together is like us standing together in front of the Grand Canyon.
Jeez. Wow.
It's like, it's only down from there now, you know?
I mean, seriously, that's insane.
No, but since then, it's just been great, man. Every day's just been like, great.
Before I let you go here, there was something that happened during the Money in the Bank ladder match where I was like, only Ricochet could pull this off. And it's where you dive through the ladder and then over the top rope and then to the outside. Is that something you just look at and go, yeah, of course I can pull that off?
I think it's something that I look at and I go, yeah, I think I can do that. And then in the moment, you just got to go for it. It's literally, there's no like practice really. But I mean, obviously you get the big, I think it was like a 12-foot ladder. So it was a huge ladder. And, but where I guess the braces cross, that little triangle is actually, it's pretty big. I actually clipped my elbow though. I still have like a cut on my elbow.
Oh,
because when I jump through, I just
yeah.
clip my elbow a little bit. But it's just one of those things where you gotta like, you see somebody out there, you think you can do it, and you just gotta, again, don't think about it. You just gotta go for it.
You're like a real life superhero. I'm actually really curious. Who is your favorite superhero?
My favorite, it has like, my list is like changed over the years, but I think
Okay.
consistently Peter Parker is my favorite superhero. Spider-Man, like since I've been like a kid, I feel like, especially when I was younger and I used to like read the comics and watch the old cartoon, like I could relate to a kid going to school trying to be a superhero like type thing. So Peter Parker has always been one of my favorites. And then the Flash, I'm a big fan of the Flash.
That seems
Barry
pretty
Allen.
fitting. With
I
your
like Barry
skill set,
Allen.
that
Yeah.
seems fitting.
And then recently over there, it's like characters like All Might and stuff. He's up there for me. A couple like those guys. Obviously, Goku has been up there. I don't know if Goku counts as like a superhero, but just our inspirations. I'll be in the gym working out, and I'll be like, okay, Goku would do another one. And I'd literally like do another set because Goku would do one. That's how I kind of like push myself. I do.
Man, so I think I asked you this at WrestleMania, but I'm going to ask you it again. I end every
Please.
interview talking about gratitude. What are 3 things in your life right now that you're grateful for?
I am grateful for, I want to say Sam, but I think I may have said Sam last time. Did
Which
I?
I think she should still make the list. I mean, come on.
I think she should still make the list because every day I like, I don't like say a prayer, but every day I do like I thank her. I thank her just for being her every day. Two, I am grateful for my family, which I have now as I've gotten older. When I was younger, we weren't really like in a connected family, like saying, I love you and hugging. We always hung out and we always did stuff, but we never did that. But now we are more talkative and we get together and it's better now. And man, I have some of the best like friends that are now brothers like I could have ever asked for. So when I just talk about me and Sam getting married, and I'm trying to think of like my best man and my groomsmen, like thinking about the guys in my life that's really helped me get to where I'm at now and be who I am now. Like thinking about those guys, I'll text them. So I just texted one of them the other day and said, "Man, love you. I just think you're a big part of my life and you're a big reason I'm here." So I think those are probably 3 things that
Dude, I love that.
and now older thankful for.
Yeah, I love that, man. It's so good to be able to catch up with you, and look forward to seeing you and Logan Paul and what you guys can pull off at SummerSlam.
Can't wait to smack him in his dumb face.